Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session. How are you today, guys? Welcome to B2.2 level. How are you guys?
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Hello, guys. How was your break, your short break? How was it?
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You needed that. Short. Oh, my goodness. Why short? You needed more time to, process everything before studying B2.2. Well, guys, but here we are. Today is Monday. Today we're starting our new cycle. I'm very excited to be working here with you again during this cycle. I'm sure that we are going to learn a lot. We're going to continue learning, and we're going to continue, working hard during all these sessions. And I'm very happy and excited to be with you here tonight, guys. So before we begin, we are going to have our academic coordinator. She's here. She wants to say hi to you. So, okay.
Hola, buenas noches para todos y todas, ¿cómo están? No muy habladores, por lo que pude escuchar, porque no compartieron sus experiencias del
No, ellos generalmente son muy habladores,
Porque estoy yo.
participativos. Yo creo que es porque es el primer día y porque es lunes.
Bueno,
So,
sí, es lunes.
ahorita más tardecito ellos ya entran en calo. Yo ya los conozco. Ellos ahorita más tardecito empiezan.
Siempre que yo ingreso, ellos estaban participando, muy activos, todo, pero ahorita no dijeron mucho, están tímidos, sí. Bueno, de pronto con la noticia que les traigo, pierdan un poco la timidez. Yo venía a anunciarles, Daniela, y pues a tus estudiantes que vamos a hacer un cambio de docente en este grupo. Vemos que no están participando lo suficiente.
Me voy.
No, ¿por qué?
Bueno, ahora sí, ¿no? Ahora sí.
I'm leaving, guys. Ahí
están ahí, sí están ahí.
Hello, teacher, how are you?
Sí, Dani, ya sabes, ¿no? Próxima vez que los saludes y no te digan nada, dices, bueno, me voy.
Me voy, vamos a hacer cambio de docente.
Cambio de docente, y si todos se saludan. Buenas noches para todos, nuevamente y todas. Quería robarles un minutico para darles la bienvenida, como muchas veces lo hemos hecho. Desearles que en este nuevo ciclo que ustedes ya están, pero mejor dicho, como que de la mitad en adelante, que en este nuevo ciclo se motiven a continuar, a terminar, porque ya lo que falta, o sea, ¿cómo es que dicen? Ya falta menos que al principio. Entonces, por favor, sigan muy motivados, participando, aprovechando este curso, aprovechando esa docente maravillosa que tienen ustedes, que es Laura Daniela Chaparro, que yo creo que ustedes comparten esa opinión que yo tengo, y pues no la vamos a cambiar. No la vamos a cambiar por ahora, pero si siguen así callados, toca cambiarla, porque imagínate, Dani, un nivel B2 y no hablan.
Sí, todos tímidos todavía.
Terrible. Bueno, me despido, los dejo con Daniela y me quedo acá acompañándolos con el seguimiento, pero pues ya cierro aquí mi intervención. Muy buenas noches para todos, hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Gracias.
Sí, todavía
ahora
tiene
sí,
efecto. Ya bueno, ya no hable que no era cierto.
Okay, muchas gracias, Carita, por tu intervención. So let's continue, guys. We're going to continue with the first class protocol, the thing that we always do, protocolo de primera clase. We are going to share this information with you. So, programa de formación en bilingüismo. El objeto del programa es aunar fuerzas entre el Departamento de Santander y la Universidad Industrial de Santander para fortalecer las competencias en inglés a 66 personas entre los 18 y 30 años de edad, para que alcancen la competencia B2 en inglés, cuyo inicio de formación puede darse desde A2.1 o B1.1, que fue el nivel en el que ustedes ingresaron, en concordancia con los resultados obtenidos en el proceso de convocatoria. La población, 66 personas entre los 18 y 30 años de edad, residentes en el departamento de Santander. Las características de este programa son desarrollar competencias en inglés desde un nivel A2 hasta B2, más 40 horas de inglés con propósitos específicos de call center. Está conformado por 3 grupos, 2 que inician en el nivel A2, que ellos ya ahorita están en B1.3, si no estoy mal. Y ustedes que ya alcanzaron, están o iniciando el nivel B2.2. Consta de 600 horas, iniciando aquellos estudiantes que iniciaron desde el grupo A2, y la intensidad de 4 horas diarias de lunes a viernes, excepto los grupos de B2, que tenemos 3 horas diarias de lunes a viernes. Metodología, presencialidad remota con apoyo del libro digital. De hecho, nosotros estamos iniciando hoy un nuevo libro que ya la coordinadora Lilian Carolina les envió el instructivo para que ustedes puedan acceder a este nuevo libro, a este nuevo material que vamos a iniciar a partir de este ciclo. Las clases son desarrolladas en tiempo real con la orientación directa del docente mediante las plataformas virtuales institucionales. El enfoque comunicativo para el desarrollo de las habilidades comunicativas, habla, escucha, lectura y escritura, teniendo en cuenta los componentes lingüístico, sociolingüístico y pragmático, dándole prioridad a las habilidades de expresión y comprensión oral. Recordemos siempre que ese va a ser nuestro fuerte. Por esto siempre en todas las clases trabajamos alguna actividad, siempre estamos haciendo actividades comunicativas, siempre estamos haciendo alguna actividad de speaking o de listening. Por esa razón vamos a estar trabajando muy fuerte en estos últimos ciclos que nos quedan, estas habilidades, porque la idea es que ustedes de acá salgan muy bien preparados para enfrentar lo que sea que se les venga. ¿Listo, chicos? Incluye 2 componentes, lengua extranjera general y contenidos específicos, que es call center, el último ciclo que vamos a tener. La asistencia, ustedes saben, chicos, que la asistencia es de suma importancia en este programa y se requiere asistencia mínima al 80% de las clases para la aprobación del curso. Con 8 horas de inasistencia se pierde el curso. ¿Listo, chicos? Entonces, recuerden que todos los días estamos tomando asistencia y que la coordinadora Nancy está ahí muy pendiente del proceso de ustedes. Cuando ustedes no puedan asistir a una sesión, la coordinadora Nancy los estará contactando, preguntándoles si ustedes, pues cómo están, el motivo de la inasistencia y demás. Se registra asistencia diariamente en el sistema académico y se reportan casos de inasistencia a la coordinación de seguimiento. Se evalúa de 0 a 5, no hay ningún cambio en el sistema de evaluación, se aprueba con nota mínima de 3.6. Se realizarán evaluaciones escritas y orales, parciales y finales para ir evaluando el avance en el proceso de aprendizaje. Esto se mantiene, esto no hay ninguna modificación en los ciclos anteriores. El material a usar, vamos a iniciar con este libro que es el Cutting Edge Third Edition Advanced. Unidades 1, 2, 3 y 4 vamos a trabajar durante este ciclo de B2.2. Sistema de evaluación, vamos a tener en quizzes un 40%. Se mantiene, que recuerden que estas notas de quizzes son trabajo en clase, participación y demás. Entonces, este ya es un porcentaje alto y con el hecho de que ustedes participen activamente en las sesiones, pues ya van a tener ahí un 40% de cierta manera asegurado. Tendremos trabajo virtual en la plataforma de Moodle con un 10%, avance de proyecto, segundo avance de proyecto con un 20%. Y el examen final que les evalúa todas las habilidades, escucha, lectura, escritura y habla, cada una de estas con un 7,5%, quiere decir que el examen final, su porcentaje total es un 30%. Y ya con esto obtenemos el 100% de la evaluación cuantitativa para este nivel del B2.2. ¿Okay? Equipos de trabajo en la dirección tenemos a la profesora Laura Cristina Dueñas Angulo, en la coordinación a la profe Lilian Carolina Acevedo, las formadoras de inglés Laura Anela Chaparro, Marilyn Blanco Ríos y Laura Jereda. Contactos tenemos en la dirección, esos son los correos electrónicos de la dirección, la coordinación académica, coordinadora de seguimiento y de la docente. ¿Listo, chicos? Recuerden siempre que nosotros también tenemos diferentes maneras de contactarnos, ¿cierto? Y el que más de pronto utilizamos es el WhatsApp, ahí donde nos estamos compartiendo pues toda la información, pero además estos son los correos a los que ustedes deben enviar de pronto si algún día tienen algún tipo de excusa médica y demás, lo deben enviar a la coordinadora académica, que es lilcasev@correo.wis.edu.co, y a la coordinadora de seguimiento también. Aspectos a tener en cuenta: ser puntuales en el espacio asignado en la clase. Nosotros arrancamos a las 6 de la tarde, siempre damos una espera de unos 5 minuticos como máximo, que siempre tenemos ahí una cancioncita para darles la bienvenida, para esperar a que todo el mundo ingrese a las sesiones. El micrófono debe estar silenciado a menos que deseen participar en alguna actividad. Durante la no intervención debe estar desactivado para evitar que estos ruidos externos se filtren. Si es necesario hacer alguna intervención, se debe pedir la palabra. Ustedes ya saben cómo se maneja esto. Ustedes son libres de participar, de hablar, de preguntar durante la sesión. Recordemos siempre que acá siempre en las sesiones ustedes pueden hacer todas las preguntas que quieran, pueden hacer todas las intervenciones que quieran. Entonces siéntanse libres de hacerlo en el momento que deseen hacerlo, ¿ok? Vamos a estar en clase, cuento con su compromiso durante la sesión, el uso del tiempo en actividades asignadas, sin música y sin ruidos distractores. Yo jamás he tenido problemas con este curso, de hecho este curso es demasiado juicioso, sin embargo, pues no está de más darles estas indicaciones. Paciencia, chicos queridos, recordemos que no podemos controlar los ruidos externos, tampoco podemos controlar estos factores externos como el internet, que se va la luz, que bueno, cualquier tipo de contratiempo que se puede presentar durante estas sesiones. Entonces hay que tener mucha paciencia porque digamos, son inconvenientes que se nos pueda presentar durante estas sesiones, online, ¿ok? Entonces, bienvenidos, guys. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our cycle. I have here a folder for you. I created this folder. Remember that I always share this with you. I'm going to share it right now. And in this folder, you guys can check all the information that I will be uploading during the sessions, PowerPoint presentations, general information, maybe like a Google Slides, sorry, or maybe PDFs or any information related to the class. I will be uploading here, or all this information here, to the folder so you can have access to it. I'm going to share it with you right now so you have it since day one. Recuerden, chicos, que en este folder yo, a medida que va avanzando las clases, les voy alimentando esta carpetica. Entonces acá en la primera clase, class number 1, we have general information. So we have the information about the project, instructivo para acceder a Moodle, instructivo para acceder al libro Cutting Edge y My English Lab, instructivo para acceder al sistema de información del Instituto de Lenguas de la UIS. Okay? It's very important that you guys follow this, especially this instructivo para acceder al sistema de información del Instituto de Lenguas, because some of you don't have the access or haven't access to this platform, and it's very important that you have the access to it. Okay. So for this, let's talk about this information, or let's talk about the project for this second project progress. So you already know the project, you already know the topic. So for today's class number 1, that is April the 24th, we're going to share the project with the students during class time. That is what we're doing right now. In class number 12, that is on May the 10th, we are going to monitor during class time. I'm going to give you time for you to work in groups, for you to get together and then organize your ideas and work on your project before sending the project to me. On class number 13, that is on May the 11th, you are going to send me the second project progress to my email, and the deadline is at midnight, okay? For this second project progress, you have to turn in a Word document that contains more and detailed information about the chosen issue. For this part, you can include pictures. You can include if you're working on a Word document, you can include maybe like links, or maybe links for a short video or something, or you can include pictures. So this is very similar to the first one, but in this second step, you need to include more information about your project, okay? Basically, that is what you guys are going to do during this second project progress. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very, very, very good. Okay, my people. So now I am going to call the attendance. You have all this information here that you can, access to it, read this information. I also send it to your email today when I sent you the welcome email for today's cycle, for today's class. You have also this information in your emails accounts, but I also uploaded this information to the Google Drive folder. So guys, I'm going to call the attendance and I'm going to check who's here and who is missing. So let's start. Acevedo Cuevas Saray.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Albarracín Caballero Cristian.
I'm here, teacher.
Awesome. Ayala Viloria Joeli.
Here, teacher.
Good. Bacayain Andrea.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Carrero Bonilla John Hammer. John Hammer, is John here? Let me check. No, John Hammer is not in the session yet. Okay. Cordero Castellanos Brian. Brian. He's not in the session yet. Córdoba Miranda Stephanie.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Durán Ardila Silvia Alejandra.
Present, teacher.
Awesome. Fonseca García Freddy.
I am here.
Awesome. Liscano Arisa Judy Lisette.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Lozada Díaz Diana Lisette.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Muñoz Salazar Andrea Juliana. Oh, Andrea. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Eres Ardila Natalie.
I'm here, teacher.
Pinzón Linares Mayra Juliet.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Plata Vargas Mayra. Mayra.
Present, teacher.
Very good, Mayra. Rodríguez Llorente Harold David.
Hi, teacher.
Okay. Sandoval Miranda Angélica Stephanie. Angélica. Is Angélica here with us? Yes. Oh, I'm here, but okay, Angélica. No problem. Thank you for letting me know, but I know you're here. Sierra Jaimes Daniela Fernanda.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, my dear. You were
How
so
are you?
good. How are you?
I am fine too,
Okay.
with all emotion for this new cycle.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Welcome, welcome. I didn't hear you and I thought you were in the session, but you're here. Welcome.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Velasco, Uribe, Ana Maria.
I'm here, teacher.
Very good. And Vera Peña, Jennifer.
Here, teacher.
Okay, awesome. Very good. Okay. My people. So let's start. Let's start. I am going to begin, or we are going to begin with the agenda for today. So let me share my screen here with the second slide. Okay. Okay, so again, my people, welcome to our new cycle. Today, we're having our first class. And for today, we are going to, begin with the welcome presentation. That is what we just did. We are going to check that all of you have access to the book. I mean, the coordinator, Lillian, she already sent you all the information, but we're going to access and we're going to make sure that you do have access to the book. Okay. We're going to start. We're going to begin with unit 1. We are going to have a very interesting topic for today that is about globalization. And then we're going to have our break from 7:30 to 7:40. And then in the second part of the session, we're going to work on vocabulary about globalization. And we're going to finish with a discussion in groups about advantages and disadvantages of it. Okay. So we're going to take a look at the at all the advantages of globalization and disadvantages of it. We're going to do a listening exercise and we're going to get to work in groups. Okay. So we are going to begin, guys. We're going to begin with, before we start, antes de iniciar, guys, before we start, before I forget, cronograma, okay, this information. So, las fechas. Para este nivel B2.2 vamos desde el 24 de abril, that means today, hasta el día 12 de mayo. O sea, nosotros vamos a terminar ciclo un viernes, ¿ok? Chévere, vamos a terminar ciclo un viernes y vamos a tener el receso el 15 y el 16 de mayo. O sea, receso van a tener, mejor dicho, un fin de semana larguísimo. Terminamos un viernes, descansamos obviamente el fin de semana que siempre lo descansan ustedes. Descansamos lunes y martes, que es 15 y 16 de mayo, y arrancaríamos con B2.3 el día miércoles 17 de mayo. Okay, so this is for you to keep this information into account. Esto para que se vayan como también organizando en cuanto a las fechas, para que tengan claridad sobre el inicio y el fin. Recordemos que a partir del ciclo pasado, a partir del B2.1, nuestros ciclos son un poco más largos en cuanto a los días. En ciclos anteriores, en el B1, teníamos 10 clases y cada jornada era de 4 horas. A partir del B2 tenemos 14 sesiones, ¿sí? Y tenemos 3 horas diarias, o sea, la intensidad bajó y nos extendimos un poco más, vamos hasta el día 14, ¿ok? Clase 14. So, esto para que ustedes lo tengan en cuenta, ¿ok? Very good, guys. So we're going to begin with this exercise about what is globalization. So in case you guys were wondering, in case you guys were like, oh, okay, maybe I have heard about the concept, but maybe you are not that clear with the concept. So we're going to watch this video about what is globalization. You're going to click here on this button, and then you're going to start listening.
What is globalization?
And then you're going to start listening, guys. And here we have 11 questions. Very, very easy questions based on the video that you are going to answer after you hear the information. So you have to pay attention to the video and then answer a question with 2 options, okay? So I'm going to send this link on the chat. And you guys are going to start. Good, guys, clear? Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. Excellent. So please start and please let me know as soon as you finish. Let's do the first one as an example, so you know how to click on next and how to continue with the second one. So I'm going to click here on the first task.
What is globalization? Globalization is the process by which the markets of different countries become increasingly integrated thanks to the exchange of.
Okay, so the first question, globalization is a process by which cities are integrated or countries are integrated. So you just heard about it. Countries are, okay, countries are, okay, very good. Countries are integrated. And then, okay, if you answer correctly, it's going to tell you that the answer was correct. You are going to click here on next. Okay, you click here on next and you continue.
Goods, services, technology.
And you continue listening, okay? So please start, guys. I am sending the link again on the chat. Please start. And as soon as you finish, write on the chat, teacher, I finished. And then, so I know who is still working on the activity or if you already finished and we can move on. Okay, guys? So please start with the activity. Thank you. Okay, guys, ready?
Yes, teacher, ready.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So for you guys, in your own words, what is globalization? Can you give us examples of globalization?
The last one in the video was interesting. We were watching a video, an American video in a
Mhm.
Korean computer.
Right. Okay, very good.
Teacher,
Yes.
I mean about the concept, it is like the changes and interactions that happen between the countries.
Mm-hmm.
All the
Okay.
information that have been changed because of the technology and the advantages of the virtual world,
Okay.
I would say.
Only in the virtual world, would you say, or not only in
I
the
mean, not only the virtual world, it is
Mm-hmm.
it's
Okay.
part of it, but it
Okay.
is also
Perfect.
like for example, watching a movie that was made in Italy, but it has been
Uh-huh.
shared globally at the same
Uh-huh.
time, or the streaming
Uh-huh.
in the
Okay.
theaters.
Okay. Yes. So globalization means a speed up of movements and exchanges of human or I don't know, like goods, services, technologies, cultural practices, and so on, all over the world, all over the planet. So it one of the effects of globalization is that it promotes and increases the interactions between different regions and populations around the world, around the globe. So imagine imagine that, I don't know, let's say this morning you woke up and you put on a dress, or you put on a pair of jeans, or a t-shirt, and you see in the tag that says made in China, right? So then you go to your car because you're going to work, and in your car, your car has of parts that were manufactured in all parts of the world. And then you drove that car to your school, or to your job place, or to the supermarkets. And then in the supermarket, you bought fruit, or grapes. Let's talk about grapes that were grown in Chile. Or you bought avocados that were brought, or were brought from Mexico, right? Or different or beverages, or for example, you buy soda, and that soda was brought from another country.
Like Coke.
Yes, exactly, like Coke. So you did all of this because of globalization. So in this lesson, in today's class, we are going to learn the meaning of globalization, some of its positive and negative effects, and some real examples of globalization, guys. So that's why I'm very excited about today's session, because this is something that is very interesting, and it's something that it's changing and is happening nowadays, and sometimes we just ignore those things. So we're going to learn about this. We're going to make sure before we start that all of you have access to the book. Do you have access to it? Could you log in, and could you access to
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
It was sent
Okay.
by the coordinator.
It was what? Sorry.
It was sent by the coordinator.
Yeah, it was
The new
sent.
password.
Yes. Today in the afternoon, because we are starting a new book that is going to work for the following cycles. So for this B2.2, we're going to work on unit 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and this first unit, we are going to learn about, well, the name of the unit is Global Living. In this unit, we're going to review vocabulary, we're going to review grammar about continuous verb forms and introducing points in an argument. So we're going to review a present continuous, future continuous, passive voice using continuous. So we're going to review all these grammar aspects that are not new for you. That's why we're doing a review session or a review class on this topic. Probably tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow. And then we're going to learn about how to introduce points in an argument and how to talk about or how to if you're having like a discussion, how to introduce your points, if you are for or against those arguments or that topic. For the vocabulary, we're going to work on vocabulary about globalization and urbanization. And the task is give a tip on learning a language well. So let's pay attention here, guys, on page 6, the vocabulary and speaking about globalization. We are going to think about ways in which globalization affects your or impacts your everyday life. So let's think about it. I'm going to give you 1 minute for you to think, and then we're going to exchange our thoughts, okay? So 1 minute to think about this question. Okay. So guys, what are your answers? What do you think?
Like the addition of new vocabulary to our native language.
Okay, adding
know?
or learning. Okay, adding or
Even we are
learning.
adding like English words.
Yeah,
Spanish,
okay, okay,
basically, in a sense, yeah.
okay.
And like the use of a new platform to watch movies.
Okay, interesting. Very good, Faye. Very good.
Teacher,
The
what about,
influence.
Sorry.
Continue. Daniel.
no, go ahead, finish your ideas.
Okay, go
I
ahead,
mean, like
Faye.
the influence of American food
The
in
influence
our
of American
countries,
food.
like
Yes.
pizza, hamburger. Yeah,
Okay, so no, so not only American, but also the influence of Mexican food, Chinese food. Well, I think Indian food is not that common here in Colombia. But it is in other countries. I mean, of course, maybe we find Indian restaurants, but they're not that common as Mexicans or Chinese or Japanese restaurants. But in other parts of the world, Indian or Thai or I don't know, I mean, food from all over the world. So that is something that is also interesting to point out, as Frey said, the food that we eat. Okay, thank you very much. Daniela, go ahead.
Teacher, I believe that the major invention from globalization was
Mhm.
internet. So
Okay.
based on that, an example for a form or a way or machines all that changed our life was internet. And surely if internet hadn't arrived to our life, we couldn't connect today and in our class. Sure.
Exactly. So imagine a world without internet connection. What would you do, guys? Or how would communication would be? Give me 1 second, John. And this is something that is recent. This is something that is recent, the way we communicate with people from all over the world. Because I remember many years ago, well, not many years ago, probably, let's say I'm 27, and it was when my dad lived in another country when I was probably 12, 11, 12 more, I would say. Yeah, let's say 11 or 12. So that was 15 years ago. And I remember that whenever we wanted to speak to our dad or to have a conversation with him, we had to go to a different or like a place where they would have international calls, and they were super expensive. And then we always
Difficult, teacher,
sorry?
because the line and difficult because the line broke all time.
Yes, exactly. And then we had to call him, and we had to go to a different place. We couldn't be in our house. We had to go somewhere else in order to call him, and it was very expensive. It wasn't easy to get the or for him to receive the phone call, which is I mean, I don't understand how that worked. But I mean, I don't remember that much of that, but I do remember that it was like, hello dad, how are you, how and bye, because it was very expensive and we couldn't have a conversation with him, like a long conversation. And it wasn't easy. And now to think about that, it's just crazy. And that is something that is recent. Now with the internet and with the uses of different apps like WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook. Let's talk about WhatsApp. Now whenever somebody's away or we are away, I can have a conversation with any person from all over the world. It doesn't matter the time. It doesn't matter. FaceTime that person, which is something like so new. This is something that didn't exist 15 years ago. So it's so interesting to think about how a globalization has changed our lives in so many different ways. So John, go ahead. You wanted to
Yes,
ask?
teacher. So first of all, hello. I
Hello.
just wanted to say that globalization affects our lives in the way that we can buy many things from any country around the world. So
Yes.
it it does our life much easier because we can get a lot of things from different
Yes.
countries, and that's
Yes.
fantastic.
For example, Amazon. Amazon is an example of that. Yeah, so I love,
Alibaba.
yes, from China, from countries, from Chinese countries. Well, not Chinese countries, sorry, from Asian countries. We have different apps in which we can buy things from other countries and have them shipped to our homes nowadays. So that's awesome. Mayra and then Stephanie. Mayra, go ahead.
Teacher, what I love or what I like about globalization, it's that now that I'm working remotely a year ago, I feel that I can work in any company and it doesn't matter where it's located
Located.
that company.
Yes.
So I know that sometimes I'm working with different schedules and sometimes will be a little overwhelming. But I think that in the remote life open huge opportunities for people, especially for those who lives in these Latin American countries with
Yes.
less opportunity than others.
Mhm.
And also, I think that for me, I have the sensation that they were used to be for me huge. And now I feel that you can be or you can be part of wherever you want or travel wherever you want because you are able to dream and able to do it.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
like my experience.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. The one that you mentioned about your job and like being able to work from or with companies from all over the world, uh, being here in Colombia or based in Colombia, but then maybe for a company that is located in the USA or in Canada or in China. You know, it's so interesting. I remember that I was offered a job. I think it was last year. I don't recall it right now, but it was to teach Chinese people English. And it was so, I mean, and I had to work from home because classes were remotely and they were I was working here from my house, and then I needed to teach people in China. I needed to teach them English. And this is part of the globalization. This is because the world is changing. This is something that it wasn't, of course, popular in the past. And I think this has grown this much after the pandemic. Maybe before the pandemic, it was something that it was. I mean, this is not new. Probably it's not new, but
No,
after
it's
the
not
pandemic,
new.
no, it's
But
not new.
with the pandemic, I think that people was concerned about to make money, and we found solutions. But this is
Yeah.
not new. This is
No,
something
this
that
is
people is probably doing in the last
in the
7
last couple of
years.
years. Yeah, exactly. But this is something that after the pandemic, it became more popular.
Popular.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much, Maida. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
I think that one of the important things for globalization is the advance in software or programs for translate. I think that it's very important. In this moment, we don't need know an other language.
Yeah, every
for
single language.
communication.
Yes.
So for me, it's very important the software translate.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Okay, guys, so let's take a look at this part. Does anybody else wants to say something or want to add something? No more. Okay, so let's move here. We are going to talk about things that you have experienced personally. Okay, which of the things below have you experienced personally? Describe what happened and what you found interesting about this experience. So let's go with the first one: visiting another country to go shopping or for a sporting event or to visit a theme park, etc. Have you ever done any of this, visiting another country to go shopping for a sporting event or to visit a theme park? Have you? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, which one?
So shopping in USA in different malls, but the outlets,
Yes, of
they're
course.
huge. They're huge. Like every building, it was a completely new brand, and they have like a very good deals.
Yes.
And it was really good, but it was exhausting for me. I don't like shopping.
You don't like
It's not my
shopping?
thing. No, it's not my thing. But my mom and my sister, they were expecting like
Gifts.
gifts, yes, and
So
clothes
you
and
were
watches.
shopping for them. You were shopping for them.
Yeah, I didn't
Nice.
forget it.
That's nice.
Basically.
That's nice.
And also I visit like baseball stadium for a game.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard for me because that I thought that will be for probably an hour, but baseball game takes like
No, they're
4
so
to
good.
5 hours.
Yeah.
It's really hard, but it was funny because they
I
have
mean,
like
it
that
was
fence
it
there.
was just for the experience. It was just for the
Yes,
experience,
yes,
right?
and I have the ball, you know.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I did. I think it's funny. I don't know many things, but
Okay,
I
that's
did.
good.
So my only game was that, and
Mhm.
I have the ball. That was
Okay, that's good. That's good.
it.
Okay, anybody else to go shopping or for a sporting event or for a theme park in
I
another?
visited a theme park.
Which one?
It
And
was in
where?
Brazil, and it
Oh,
was about dinosaurs.
oh
It was like a
wow.
huge park, and it had different kind of statues or the architecture. Everything
Yeah,
was full of like different kind of
dinosaur.
dinosaurs.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that's
And they
good.
were like special shops,
Uh-huh.
clothes, or maybe souvenirs that you
To
could buy
buy
there.
souvenirs
So it
for
was a great
clothes.
experience. And
Oh,
you have to walk, or you could take like a small cab inside the park because it was very
oh,
very
that's
big.
nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. Okay. I went to have you ever heard about this baseball team, the Cubs? They're from Chicago, the Cubs.
Chicago is the teacher.
Yes, you have?
This is my favorite team. Yes.
Oh, really? So
Yes.
I went to a Cubs game. Um, just one time. My host family, they took me to a Cubs game before, well, I was coming back to Colombia, and they invited me to do several activities before I came back to Colombia, before coming back to Colombia. And they took me to a Cubs game, and I didn't understand any of I mean, they were trying to teach me and like I was trying to learn things about baseball, but I'm not good at sports, and I'm not good at learning rules and so on. So for me, it wasn't like 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 something.
Boring.
I mean I didn't want
Because
to say
I don't understand nothing. I didn't
I mean,
understand.
it was just for the experience. It was just for the experience. So for me, it was like, oh, this is great, but only because of the experience. And we have one of the best seats, and they were, playing for like 2 or 3 hours. I don't remember. At that day, the Cubs lost. I think. I don't remember very well, but I think they lost. But it was a good experience. And then I also went to an American match, an American football match in a stadium that was near the house I used to live in, and and I don't like American football because I don't understand any of it. But still, it was fun. It was fun just to see people, chanting and having fun and getting excited about American football. So it wasn't something that I loved, because those sports, I don't understand anything about those sports, but still the experience was nice. It was good. And then I also visited a theme park that is called Six Flags. Six Flags in Chicago, because I used to live in Chicago. And they're only open during summer and early fall and late spring, because it's the time of the year where it's not where it's not that cold. So I went to one theme park, and it's just awesome. What about you guys? Do you have any experience on this first one?
Teacher, I went to a Six Flags too,
Oh,
but
you
in New
went
Jersey.
in New Jersey. How was it? How was the
Yes,
experience?
teacher. It
Fun.
was fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes, it's really amazing. Everything is fun.
Yeah, it is. However, the thing that I don't liked about it's the long queues that you had to do in order to access the games. It was like 1 hour.
It's depend because when I was, it was very fast.
Oh, okay. So I was lucky because the day I went to Six Flags, it was raining. It was a rainy day, so no many people were at the park, and it was so fast for me. I went with a friend, and we didn't have to queue or to make a line and wait for hours. And we left the park, let's say at 2 p.m. And at 2 or 3 p.m., I don't remember the exact time, the sky cleared up. So it was sunny. And then when we were driving our way back to our homes, I saw many people coming, and I said, oh, we're so lucky, because when we were at the park, it was like no many people were in the parks. It was good. What about making online contact with someone from another country? Have you ever experienced something like this?
Me, teacher,
Yes,
I
Julie?
went to the United States last year, and this country, they have a lot of people to different countries,
From different
and
countries,
they speak
yes.
a lot of language, and it is a fantastic experience because they share with you like your food,
Their
your
food, yes.
culture.
Their culture, yes.
I have,
Yes. Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Julie, for sharing. What about you, Freddy? So have you make online contact with someone from another country?
yes, actually, like many years ago, I used a website that was called ICQ.
What is
And
that?
it was for meeting people online
Oh, online.
from
Okay, okay,
different
okay.
countries.
From
And
oh,
it had
okay,
like
okay, okay.
different chat rooms,
Oh,
like
okay.
friends, international friends, something like that. And I
Uh-huh.
used to use that website to improve my English. And I could meet like a girl from Turkey. So we were in touch for like for 4 years, and she's from Istanbul. And it was a great experience, like getting to
Oh,
know
that's good.
people are overseas.
All
Yeah.
over, yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Teacher,
Yes.
okay, I going to make to say something about my experience. Have you
Okay.
ever hear about app called Linguado?
Linguado. Nope, never.
When we were
Honestly.
in the pandemic time, I used to use it in order to improve my English and Italian level, and I can recommend it.
Oh, really? And then you meet people from different
From
parts.
Italia, USA, Thailand, yeah, a
Okay.
whole country.
And is this app only to, I mean, because there are different kind of apps, you know? Some apps are very not to find friends or just friends.
Yes, teacher, I got you, but
Yes,
this app is
teacher.
designed
For
to
example,
improve
It
Bumble.
happens a lot,
your
yeah.
uh,
So,
language level.
okay, but that one in particular, Harold, is only to practice your English and to practice different languages, not only English, but it's just like for educational purposes. Yes?
Yes, teacher, but if you want to use it for other purpose, you can. But the main
You're
purpose is improve your
Urban?
the language that you
He
wanted.
found the love there. It was
Yes, teacher, if you want.
But if you find love, that's okay. No, because I mean, there are other apps like Tinder, or what was the other one, Maida, you mentioned? Bumble?
Bumble.
Bumble. Yeah,
Bumble.
but you can use Bumble for couples or Bumble for friends.
Oh, you
Teacher,
Oh, I
I
okay.
have
never
a friend
use it.
that
I never use it. I
met
was
with,
Somebody
thinking
told
of
you
that.
about
No,
it.
yeah.
it wasn't. I never
Those are
used that.
dating apps, yeah.
Maida, you have never used it. A friend of yours told you about this.
But she knows the names. She's like,
She
Teacher,
knows how everything works, but she has never used it.
No, I used it once,
yeah.
but it's really hard.
I have a
I
friend
have to be
that
honest. I
used
used
that
it Bumble for
app.
once, and it was. I mean, someone tells me like, "Hi, how are you?" And you say, "Good, whatever. I was expecting to my friends.
Uh-huh.
And the guy texts me like, what are you doing? And I said, no, watching a movie. And I said, okay, can I go home? And I said, no, I don't know you.
That's weird.
And then he told me like, what are you doing here? And I said, where? In Bumble. This is only for some things. And I told him like, I thought that we could be friends.
Oh, yeah.
No, friends with benefits. And he blocked me.
Oh, okay.
Then
So-
I react to a guy. I mean, I only spent one day in that
And no more, and no more. You
It was
had
has
funny
experience.
because other guy that's me, you know, you had to react, and the difference from Bumble is that you had to text them to the guys.
Oh,
They cannot
like
text you.
girls have
Yeah.
to text boys first. Oh, okay.
Yeah, only the girls.
Oh,
So
okay.
I react to a picture and then like blow up the message things and he say, hi, how are you? And he told me, what do you want? And I say, what do you want? And he told me like, this is only for sex. And I say, no, friends.
Just
Then
friends,
I
just friends.
realized that I opened Bible dating and no
Oh,
Bumble
and not
friends.
friends. Oh, you
Yeah.
were in the wrong one. You were in the
Yeah,
wrong.
it was very funny, but I never tried. I don't know, I log out, I delay that app from my phone, but that was really funny because I called my friend and she told me because she opened the app on my profile
Uh-huh.
because she was expecting that I was date with someone.
Oh.
So I called her and asked her what happened with these people in these apps. No, nobody wants to be my
Nobody
friend.
wants to be my friend. Nobody wants.
And she started laughing and said, no, I opened only one.
Oh, you were in the wrong one.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't like it anyway.
Okay, good. Thank you, Maida. Harold, sorry, you were trying to say something.
Yes, teacher. I was saying that I have a friend that
Uh-huh.
she used Bumble when she was in United States, and she met someone there. He's from Vietnam, and now they are about to get married.
Oh, so that had a
Yeah,
happy
in
ending.
Bumble. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay. This is something that is not maybe like very common on those apps, but I mean, they were lucky that they found each other. Okay, that's good. Interesting. What about the third one? Using English as a lingua franca to communicate with other non-native speakers. What is the meaning of lingua franca, guys?
Like language, modern language, como lengua materna.
No, that is mother tongue.
It's like when you use a language like the main tool for communicating with others. For example,
okay.
in this case, English is the lingua
Lingua
franca of
franca.
the world.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so imagine we speak Spanish, and imagine we meet someone from Japan. They don't speak, or that person doesn't speak Spanish, and we don't speak Japanese. So we adopt or we use English as our lingua franca in order to communicate. It happened to me. I had a friend from South Korea when I was living in the United States. And of course, I didn't know anything about Korean, and she didn't know anything about Spanish. So we had to speak in English as a lingua franca because that was our way to communicate with between us. And it was very difficult because she didn't know any English. So it was so frustrating for her. And she had to use a Google Translator all the time. So our conversations were like she would text something and she would show it to me, and it was so frustrating for her. But still, we tried and we adopted English as our lingua franca. The same thing with a friend that I had from Germany. So she doesn't speak Spanish. I don't speak German. So we use English as our lingua franca in order to communicate with each other. So that's interesting. My sister, my little sister, her boyfriend is from Austria. And they use English as their lingua franca, but my little sister, she's lazy, so he had to learn Spanish, and he's very good at Spanish. So she's like, they use Spanish as, I mean, not well, they use Spanish to communicate, and English. So that's how they use, or they communicate with each other.
So he had to learn or to communicate it with your sister. Teacher.
Well, he has been learning Spanish for quite a long time. And then they have been a couple for 2 years or so. And now, I don't know if I told you that my sister just had a baby. I'm a new aunt. I don't know if I told you, like, no, a couple of days ago, 1 week ago.
No, teacher.
No,
Congratulations.
Well. I am a new auntie, and I'm the happiest person alive. I'm the happiest person on earth. So yeah. So they have a baby together, and I think my sister, she's moving to Austria with the baby. I'm like so happy, but at the same time, I'm so sad. And I don't know which language they're going to teach the baby. I don't know if they're going to, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. But this is part of the globalization, guys. So I don't know if the baby is going to speak Spanish. I don't know if the baby is going to speak English, or I don't know if the baby is going to speak German. I would say that maybe English, because my sister doesn't speak any German. She's learning, but she is not fluent, and she only knows how to, say like, hello, my name is Paula, and things like that. So I think their lingua franca with the baby is going to be English. I think. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think they're going to use English or Spanish.
I went through the same experience with the lingua franca.
Yes,
Because
you?
I had one friend from China. She
Uh-huh.
lived here for about 4 years.
Oh,
And we only communicate using English because
In
she didn't speak
English.
Spanish. I
Mhm.
didn't speak Chinese. So that was the only language that we have
The
to
only language.
use.
English. Okay, very good, very good. Here, let me read. He's going to speak all the languages you have said. Yes, he is. He is fluent in Spanish, he's fluent in English, and his mother tongue is German. So he speaks 3 languages, I think, only those 3, I think. So my niece, I don't know. Well, I want to teach her English from day 1. But in order for the baby to communicate with my parents, I mean, I think it will be only in Spanish, because my parents do not speak any other language. So I think because of my family, the baby is going to learn Spanish, but at the same time, the baby is going to because if the baby is going to live in Austria, she's going to learn German and English. So I don't know, guys, it's so crazy, and we're not thinking about it so far, because we need to think about it and plan, and decide which language the baby is going to speak, which is not an easy thing, but we'll see. What about the next one? Working or studying with someone from another country. Have you ever worked or studied with someone from another country?
Yes.
Yes.
In our program, there was a girl that she was from Germany.
Yes.
She
Oh.
came here to finish her project, her
Uh-huh.
thesis, and
Mhm.
she was taking some subjects with us,
Okay.
and it was nice, but she was the only one who made the presentations in English when we have
Oh.
to present the reports for the
Mhm.
advances of the project.
Okay.
But it was a great experience.
Yeah, for sure it was. Well, Maida, what about you?
I was living in the States with the J1 program, and I was sharing the house with people from Ukraine and with people from Romania, Macedonia, and Europe places like Ukraine, Macedonia, Kazakhstan, and
Oh,
Kazakhstan. Those are really,
Wow.
really cultures, like really, really cultures, because that's something that was unusual and weird for me was that the girls who was living with me from Kazakhstan, they don't take the shower, you know?
they don't shower?
They don't shower, but they look pretty all the time and they spend like hours doing the blower and fixing the
You know,
hair.
getting ready and so on, getting ready.
Yeah, but hours, I mean hours. And they don't take the shower. They don't shower. So
It's yeah, now that you mentioned something like this, when I was living with my host family, I remember they are Jewish. They're Jewish. And and the first months that I was living with them, I remember that we were going to the temple because there was a celebration. I think it was Rosh Hashanah or something that is Rosh Hashanah is like the new year. I think is the new year. Yes. Well, there are so many celebrations that I forgot, but I remember that Rosh Hashanah, we used to go to the temple and then they will, you know, pray and I was very excited to join them because I am a Catholic person, but I'm not a very religious girl. I'm not religious at all. However, my family is Catholic and I was born and raised as a Catholic. So living and learning about the Jewish religion, it was something a bit new for me because Jewish religion is not very common in Colombia. I mean, there are people that are Jewish, but it's not a common religion here. So I remember that one morning I was getting ready to go to the temple and and the day before I was with Hannah and we were talking about, what time should we get ready? At what time should we get up and, you know, get ready for the temple? And I remember that we had to be at the temple at 10, I think. So I said, okay, I'm going to get up at 8 a.m. I'm going to shower, I'm going to get ready so that we can leave home, let's say at 9:30. And she looked at me and she said, but Donnie, you showered today. And I said, yes.
And tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, all day, twice, even twice a week, a day.
She was so surprised and she said, but you showered today. And I said, yes. And what's wrong with that? And she said, why are you going to shower tomorrow? And I said, why not? And she said, oh, here we don't shower every day. And for me, it was something that I hadn't realized about that. And then after that, I started paying attention to that. And I realized that no, they don't shower every day. And even Hannah, she is a very organized girl. And she writes everything down. Every Sunday, she writes about her week agenda. And she used to write down the dates that she was taking a shower. And it was twice a week. Twice, guys, twice a week. She used
You said, since then, I have showered twice a week also.
No. So, and then I remember that she was so surprised and she said, Mom, Dad, Danny showers every day. And I was so confused. And I said, I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, what are you guys, why are you freaking out about this? And then said, oh, well, because here we don't shower every day. And for me, it was like, oh.
Or then you were wasting water?
No, and then
I have here that in the shower, go to take a shower all day is more, it's like I don't know how to say that. It's very common in Latin countries.
Yes,
because in Europe and Asian, it's of course not American, not as common. It's rare.
In America, they take the shower every day. The Americans.
Well, not the Americans I used to live with. No,
But because
not
they
them.
have a different culture and religion, and
I
that's
mean,
why
I don't
they're
know. I
religion.
mean, I don't know. Maybe they shower, but they don't wash everything. I mean, I don't know. And I remember that my host mom, she used to have a very important job at her um company, and she would shower one like twice or three times a week, because I used to get up at 6:45. I used to go down to get ready and to make Hannah's breakfast and lunch. And Trish was downstairs drinking a cup of coffee, wearing her pajamas, and then 10 minutes later she would be downstairs again, wearing her smart clothes to go to work. And so I was like, oh, she didn't shower. And then she explained,
What about shower?
you forgot to shower. And I think what she explained to me, it's that during winter they don't shower that often because they don't sweat. And she said, oh, maybe in Colombia you guys shower every day, you guys have a shower every day, because there the weather is hot and you are sweating all the time. And she has a point. I mean, I said, oh, well,
But
maybe.
teacher, not really, because it's about culture. Because, for example, in one city that is cold, also people take a shower all
They
day.
take a
It's
shower.
more about culture.
More
And
about,
of course,
yeah.
water. I don't know how to say that. A calentador, hot air.
Okay. The cold shower. The hot shower. The hot
Hot
shower.
shower.
But we
Yes.
can
So
compare the temperature that some places cold have.
Okay. Yes. Yes. How?
Is different the temperature, for example, in Canada when they are in winter. If you compare it,
Negative
the
20 or
temperature,
something.
yeah, like Bogota or something like that.
Yeah, in Bogota, it's like 15, 17 degrees,
Yeah,
14.
a
And then
friend of
another,
mine had the same experience in Russia.
oh, really? Yeah, very
He
cold,
was
right?
staying there for 2 months and he said that no one took a shower for the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
every
yeah.
day. They never showered. It was just him.
For me,
And they said that he was always smelling good.
I used to shower every day, no matter what. It didn't matter if it was winter, if we were having the most horrible weather. I would shower every day with hot water. I would shower every single day because it's something that I am used to showering every single day, and I shower twice a day. I shower in the morning, I shower at night. So for me, it was something that it was weird at the beginning, but I kind of understood. And for me, it was something like, oh, this is so interesting because they have so many different the culture is so different, and things that are very common for us, maybe for other people from other countries, is not that common. So it's so interesting to see how we learn about different cultures and how we get to experience some circumstances or um some religious part or some cultural aspects and so on. My people, we are going to go on a break because it's 7:30 almost. So we are going to have our break from 7:30. We will come back at 7:40, okay? So I'll see you guys at 7:40. Thank you. Okay. So we are back here, guys. We're going to continue with our session. So let's move here real quick. What about well, the last ones? Following an international celebrity on Twitter, Instagram.
That's common.
Of course, that's pretty common,
I'm
right?
followed by international celebrity.
Yes.
Follow us, follow someone that is famous.
Sorry, Hatter?
I say that I guess that all of us
Yeah, all
follow
of us
someone that
follow
is
someone.
famous.
Yes, for sure.
I'm followed by famous people, teacher.
Yeah, for sure. Very good. And what about the last one? Participating in international conference calls, webinars.
Yes,
Yes, Christian. Yes.
like the first one was in the pandemic time. Some of them of Argentina
Okay.
about some techniques are free and nobody is touching that field, that subject here in Colombia, and they're allowed to us to ASICs without no charges, so that is good.
Okay.
And like a workshop, sorry, in with the University of Old Dominion, I don't know how to pronounce it, in Virginia, the last October.
Oh, that's so interesting. That's good. Excellent. Okay, very good. People, now we are going to work in groups, and in your opinion, which of the following have happened in Colombia as a result of globalization? So which of these have happened in our country that is all of us are Colombian, right? All of us are Colombian? Yes. Yes, guys, I guess that all of us from this
Yes,
class
sure.
are from Colombia. Okay. Maybe if there is one person that is from another country, you can give your opinion about your country. Okay. But if all of us are from Colombia, then we give our opinions about Colombia. Okay, no problem. So as a result of globalization, then you're going to, give your ideas and give maybe reasons of examples. For example, the first one, there is more immigration or there is more emigration. What do you think it's more common in Colombia as a result of globalization? If you think that there is more immigration or more
Immigration.
Okay. The second one is there is a greater tolerance of cultural and religious diversity. Do you think that this is something that happens in our culture or in our country, or this is something that is still far away from our reality? So you give your opinion. People mix more with people of other races and cultures. Then we have our way of life has changed considerably. There is a clash of cultures within our society, or we have become a multi-ethnic society. Our culture has become very Americanized, or there is more freedom and choice. There are more multinational corporations and fewer local businesses. Mass tourism from abroad has really changed some parts of the country. So for example, different islands like San Andres, or different cities like Cartagena. So if you think that this has changed some part of the country, to what extent has this changed? We also have here people eat more important foods than local produce. People have higher standard of living. There has been a brain drain of talented people going to work abroad, or many of the goods we buy are made in sweatshops in other parts of the world. We are more vulnerable to global financial crisis, and people have become obsessed with global brands. Okay. So guys, I'm going to send you to the groups. and you are going to have a short discussion of these topics. I know, I mean, we have so many topics here, but you are going to maybe choose the ones that you are more interested about, and you are going to discuss. Okay, so I'm going to send you to the groups. Oh, before we go to the breakout rooms, do you have any words from here that you don't recognize? For example, a clash of cultures. What do you think that a clash of culture is?
Yeah, choque
Choque cultural? Yes, choque cultural. For example, what could be an example of this? For example, let's say death penalty. Sorry?
No,
Death.
teacher, go.
Okay, for example, death penalty. It's something that could be a clash of cultures, or abortion, or marriages. You know, that could be a clash of cultures, depending on, of course, different cultures. And what about, well, what is another one that you could see, like, oh, what is this? Do you have any ones from here that you don't recognize? Or you're good?
Sweatshops.
Sweatshops are shops that hire people with like with bad conditions and low salaries. And for example, have you ever heard about Shane? This brand that is called Shane?
Yes, the
Yes,
Chinese.
Okay.
teacher.
So Shane is a very popular brand, and it's not expensive at all. But if you see the people that make that or these clothes or those clothes are people from poor countries, that they work for more than 12 hours a day. They don't get well, they're not well paid, and they work in horrible circumstances. They work in horrible conditions, and then the products that they make are so cheap that those brands or those companies sell these clothes, and then they become wealthy, and then they sell around the world. So that is an example of sweatshops. Okay,
Interesting. This is the first time that I heard
that I
about
hear
that.
about that concept.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that's so sad, teacher.
It is very sad. No, it is very sad.
Yes.
It is very sad.
It's similar with Rappi because I remember like 2 months or 3 months ago, they the employers, yes, talk about their situation in this company because they don't have like a EPS, yes, like
Social security, yes.
yeah, like social security,
Yes.
and
Yes, and they don't get well paid. And you pay for a service in Rappi, you pay for delivery, but they don't get that money, the delivery. They only get a small percentage of that. So they work under horrible circumstances sometimes. Well, I don't know if it has
Basically,
changed.
yes,
basically, yes, I'm sorry, Judy, go ahead.
no, it's okay, John, go ahead.
Okay.
No, no worries. I was going to say that basically it's a factory with exaggerated exploitation, right?
Yes, yes.
So,
Exactly. Those are let's find a here sweatshops.
And if they have like an accident, if they don't have like ARL or something like that.
Look at this. Look at these pictures. So look at these women working in such a horrible condition. And then you see, so I made this for less than $1 and I bought this for $50. So that is an example of those.
That's unfair.
Yeah, it is for sure. It is for sure. So, and look, not only women, it's also kids, it's only men, it's also men, it's kids working, and they don't get well paid, but they take advantage, they hire people from poor, very poor countries, and then the saying is that, well, at least you have a job, you know, al menos tiene trabajo, al menos le estamos dando trabajo, which is pretty sad, you know, but it is a reality, it is real life. So this is the meaning of sweatshops. Okay, so
Yes, teacher, something similar happened in Qatar. In the
oh,
with
well,
the
they were building
yes,
they were building the
a lot
stadium.
of people that in this situation
Yes.
because they work a lot of time and
Yeah,
they didn't have a good
they work for many
salary.
hours. Yes,
Yeah.
they work for many hours. Okay, people. So now I'm going to send you to the breakout rooms, and you are going to discuss this. I'm going to be visiting the groups. I am going to be maybe participating in your discussions, and you are going to work in groups. You're going to give your opinion. You're going to do. Remember that is on page 7. Let me share my screen here real quick again. One person per group shares the screen, that's so that all of you can look at the same screen. So that is on page 7. Okay, you're going to give your opinion related to this in Colombia. Okay, in Colombia, in our country. So let me send you to the breakout rooms. Is there a person twice that is connected twice?
Me, teacher.
Sarai? Only Sarai? Okay, hold on. Only you, Sarai? You're twice?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to change to group number 2. Group number 1. We have people that are very talkative here. Very good. John, nobody here, Brian. Okay. Please join your groups.
from other countries. So maybe it's more difficult know or recognize on past time with other cultures.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Well,
our way of life has changed considerably. No, I don't think.
I guess that I
don't see that in Colombia. That's not very common, like multi-ethnic. Maybe you know for the United States.
Because here in Colombia, you don't uh, see a lot of cultures different. So I
Yeah,
think
you don't
it's,
see people from India,
yeah,
you don't see people from China that often, or people from Lebanon or Turkey. But I think that in the States, they have a
it's
lot of
more common. Yeah, in
ethnic
other countries, it's more
people from,
common.
yeah, people overseas.
Multi-ethnic.
There are more brands than, I don't know, at the first of the century.
Yes.
We have
And
more
also,
brands outside, many of them from America.
yes, and also the food, the fast food.
No, but actually, the American people is too dumb for fast food. Yeah, I mean, you see the McDonald's, Burger King,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
KFC,
Uh,
they are simple. And honestly, the big majority of
we
people
have
that
we
consume
have
them is
better
because
we
they live in
we have
a high society
we have
for
better
some
fast
reason.
food here in Bucaramanga.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are like the rollers.
I
Very,
think
very
that
simple with the food.
not only the fast food, but the processed food, the
Yeah, the
processed
processed
food.
food is
Yes,
a
that you
problem.
can, for example, you can prepare or heat it in a microwave
Yes.
to eat those that kind of food make our life easier. But also I think that people tend to use now more than ever before. For example, iPhone, no matter how much it costs, but they want to have one. Imagine
Yeah.
that there are people in our country
Yeah.
that would like to have one in their lives.
And
Hello.
hello, teacher.
Hello, guys. So what's going on here? Are you working on the activity? Ana Maria, Brian, Angelica, Mayra, Joely.
Yes, teacher, but we are thinking in some meetings to speak and share with the others.
Well, I think it will be better if one of you shares the screen and then you decide, because otherwise we are not gonna have much time. So let's go to the reader book, the one that says reader. Maida, if you can, I think Maida is the one sharing screen.
Sí, profe, pero Mayra dijo que ya venía en un momentito.
Oh, okay.
Entonces estamos también esperando.
Okay, got it. I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, okay, I see one screen with Google Translator that says reseña, and I was like, oh, what is happening? Okay, so you are going to start talking about different topics that you find interesting from the list, but there is no time for you to think first. No, you just have to point out the different topics and say, oh, okay, I think this one, for example, there is greater tolerance of culture and religious diversity. Oh, I think this one is interesting because it's something that happens in Colombia or doesn't happen in Colombia. And then you give your opinions. And then another person says, oh, our way of life has changed considerably because of this or because of that, and then you give your opinions, okay? But do not give yourself time to think first and then come up here with your ideas. Otherwise, we're not going to have enough time. We need to start working like right now, okay?
Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, please start. Okay, guys, did you have enough time? Do you have enough time to talk about those topics?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Yes. Okay, very good. So
Yes.
now, okay, very good. What did you find interesting? Tell me about things that you found interesting. Well, I was visiting your groups. However, I didn't participate in a conversation. I let you guys speak all the time. So I didn't interrupt you. But what is something interesting that you found related to these topics? What is something that you said, oh, well, actually, I have never thought about it, but now that you mention it's true, or I think this or that.
Maybe about the mass tourism,
Okay, what do you
like the
find?
problem that they have in Medellin, that more people from the United States are coming to Medellin because of the tourism, and they're like renting houses or Airbnb apartments, and everything is increasing, the prices, even for the local people
Even for the local
that live
people.
nearby. Like the prices are
Oh,
increasing, and they were complaining about it, like about the gentrification. They said, yeah,
oh, wow.
because of the tourism. So that's one
Yeah,
problem that is happening right now.
that is
Because you know
something.
that they are paying in dollar for everything.
Oh,
So the
really?
prices are
Oh, wow.
changing. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Didn't know about that. Didn't know about that.
yeah.
Okay.
That was interesting for me.
Yeah. No, it is. It is actually for everyone. Actually, this is something because it's something that happens in our in our country. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Ray. Anything else, guys, that you found
Teacher, in
interesting?
my
Yes.
case, discussing that topic with my group, I guess that maybe we don't belong there or here. I guess that everything we are becoming citizen of the world, and for that reason, a lot of things are starting to change in order to adapt. That I don't know how to say that.
Adopt.
Adapt
Yes.
in our new life.
Uh-huh. Okay. Thank you very much. Anything else, guys, that was interesting about this? Nope, no more. Okay. What about many of the goods we buy are made in sweatshops in other parts of the world? Goods in this context is not the adjective, okay? Many of the goods here is the noun, like bienes, muchos de nuestros bienes, objects, right? So goods here is not the adjective. What do you think about this one? What did you say about this one? Many of the goods.
Now people are using like AliExpress.
AliExpress, yes.
That's
Oh,
common.
now that you mention, I totally forgot about that app. But now that you mention it, I remember, I think it was last year, I downloaded the app and I was curious about the products they sold. And I
I
was
just started
checking,
using it.
I was checking for swimsuits. Yes, I remember that it was last year in March that I went to the beach with my family. We were going to stay there for a week, and I wanted to get swimsuits, but I didn't know where to buy them. They were not crazy expensive, and I said, well, I'm going to check in those websites because Shein is very common in the United States. And I remember that my friends used to get clothes from Shein. So I said, well, I'm going to check AliExpress. And they were like 10,000 pesos, something like that, which is, of course,
Yeah.
that's a bargain, that's a bargain. But I didn't buy anything. Because I don't trust those apps. To be honest, I am not a fan of buying online unless it's something that I trust. For example, if I like to buy in Falabella and it's something that I buy all the time, And it's something that I have used in the past, and I know, like, I trust that that website and app. Also Éxito, I used to buy, I usually buy my groceries there. But I don't like to buy in other apps that I don't know, that I'm not familiar with, because I am afraid of losing my money. I am afraid of not getting what I order. So I ended up not buying things from there. And also, when I learned about these sweatshops and the conditions that people usually have when they work there, I said, oh, I'm not going to buy things from those apps anymore. I mean, you can have, for example, cheap things like phone cases and jewelry,
And
but
holders, yeah.
yes, but clothes, when it comes to clothes, I'm not
The quality, yeah.
yes.
But in Colombia,
Yes,
it's difficult not buy
not to
clothes,
buy.
not to buy clothes by sweet shop, because brands like Zara, H&M, Forever 21,
Yeah.
all the
All the
all
brands.
the brands.
If you see the tags, they say made in China or made in
Yes, yes,
Vietnam or made in,
All the brand,
all the
Nike,
brands.
Adidas,
Nike,
Apple, it's
yes,
not
yes,
only
yes.
that
yes.
smart. Yeah.
Exactly. Here, Harold says the only disadvantage is just you have to wait at least 3 months to receive. Yeah. In those apps, it's true. You have to wait. Some people say, oh, I got my package within 2 months. Some others say, oh, it took 3
The
weeks.
shipping lasts a lot of
Yes.
time.
I ordered something like a month ago and I have it. Oh, yes. So yeah, it takes time. People, we are going to listen to 6 people talking about globalization, and we're going to make notes on the questions below. So the first one is, what aspects of globalization do they discuss? And what examples, pros and cons, do they mention? And the second one is, are they, Carol, that's why I'm afraid of. That's one of my fears, not to receive anything. So that's why I'm like, well, I don't like to buy from those websites. Yeah, because it happens. Oh, Sarai, oh, that's too bad. This is something that happens. Okay, so 6 people talking about globalization. And the first one is make notes about the topics that they discuss, examples and pros of cons that they mention. And the second question is, are they for or against globalization, or do they have mixed opinions? So they say like, well, I agree or I disagree, or like mixed opinions. So I want you to make notes of this, guys, because the recording lasts 4 minutes and something. Okay, so please take notes while you hear. Okay, guys, clear? Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Okay, very good. So let's start.
Unit 1, Recording 1. 1.
I think the idea of globalization is a great thing. I like the sense that the world is a smaller place and that things are accessible. And I guess what I think really stands out for me is the sort of sharing of ideas, really. Maybe we can inspire each other, learn from each other, I think, create a sort of sense of tolerance for each other.
2. Well, globalization's become a bit of a swear word for a lot of people. There are good aspects to it, I suppose, but one of the things that gets on my nerves is you go to any town in England and the high streets are all, or almost all, identical. It's the same shops, the same franchises, and there seems to be so little individuality. There's no room for individuality, and I think that's a great shame because we're missing out on the qualities you would get from local areas that specialize in whatever. But there's no chance for that to flourish because of the big chains that are global, and it's a bit too bland for me.
3. Living in London, you just see globalization all the time, and I think this city is a fantastic example of the positive side of globalization, really, because people are so tolerant on the whole. If you go into particularly the city of London, say, you've got people from all different countries who come to work here in the financial sector. Then you go into the cafe next door and there's all different accents, and it's so usual now that people don't really comment on it or notice it. And it's only when you leave London and go to perhaps somewhere more rural that you realise that it's not the same everywhere else. And although that brings some tension sometimes, I think on the whole it's just a brilliant thing. 4.
Do you know what I really love is being able to see a movie that I really want to see, and if I'm not in my own country, even if I'm abroad, I can still see it. But the only problem is that when everybody's got the same movies available and you go to America or you go to Australia and you can see the same movies roughly the same time, the only problem is that the local stuff, the independent movies, the small kind of cooler movies don't seem to figure as much. It's just globalization, I suppose, tends to favor the movie makers with more money, and so some of that low budget stuff is really exciting and really interesting, and that doesn't surface quite as much. But the plus is that if you're abroad and you think, oh, I really want to see that movie, you can.
5.
Well, I think globalization is a good thing, actually. A few years ago, my friend and I went on a graduation trip to Japan for 2 weeks, and we were really excited because we were always really into Japanese culture and food and everything. And when we got there, at first, it was amazing to eat authentic Japanese food all the time. But after a week, I just really wanted something from home and very simple and not with fish in it. So we ended up going to McDonald's, and that kind of became my everyday thing because I just couldn't stand having fish every morning for breakfast. So yeah, I'm definitely for globalization.
6.
Yeah, I must say, I think in general it's a really good thing. With my life here, it suits me, the kind of globalization thing. But I must say, recently visited Cuba, and it seems that a place like that hasn't really been affected by globalization. There's very little internet, and there's no American multinational companies and fast foods and things like that, and no advertising. It's just great to be there because you don't feel bombarded by all the kind of global brands that we all have to live with all the time. And as I say, although I actually like globalization in general, while I'm there, I'm just delighted that it hasn't affected the place. So it's a shame, really, there are not a few more countries that haven't kept their identity as much as Cuba has.
Okay, do you guys need to listen to the recording again?
With that British accent, yeah.
Well, yeah, especially the
There were
last
two guys that were
guy.
pretty difficult to understand what they were saying.
The last guy was very difficult, yes, and it's
And there was a young guy also.
yeah, and it's very British, very British. Okay, we're going to listen to it one more time.
Unit 1, Recording 1. 1.
I think the idea of globalization is a great thing. I like the sense that the world is a smaller place and that things are accessible. And I guess what I think really stands out for me is the sort of sharing of ideas, really. Maybe we can inspire each other, learn from each other, I think, create a sort of sense of tolerance for each other.
2.
Well, globalization's become a bit of a swear word for a lot of people. There are good aspects to it, I suppose, but one of the things that gets on my nerves is you go to any town in England and the high streets are all, or almost all, identical. It's the same shops, the same franchises, and there seems to be so little individuality. There's no room for individuality, and I think that's a great shame because we're missing out on the qualities you would get from local areas that specialise in whatever. But there's no chance for that to flourish because of the big chains that are global, and it's a bit too bland for me.
3. Living in London, you just see globalization all the time, and I think this city is a fantastic example of the positive side of globalization, really, because people are so tolerant on the whole. If you go into particularly the city of London, say, you've got people from all different countries who come to work here in the financial sector. Then you go into the cafe next door and there's all different accents, and it's so usual now that people don't really comment on it or notice it. And it's only when you leave London and go to perhaps somewhere more rural that you realise that it's not the same everywhere else. And although that brings some tension sometimes, I think on the whole it's just a brilliant thing. 4.
Do you know what I really love is being able to see a movie that I really want to see, and if I'm not in my own country, even if I'm abroad, I can still see it. But the only problem is that when everybody's got the same movies available and you go to America or you go to Australia and you can see the same movies roughly the same time, the only problem is that the local stuff, the independent movies, the small kind of cooler movies don't seem to figure as much. It's just globalization, I suppose, tends to favor the movie makers with more money. And so, you know, some of that low budget stuff is really exciting and really interesting, and that doesn't surface quite as much. But, you know, the plus is that if you're abroad and you think, oh, I really want to see that movie, you can.
5.
Well, I think globalization is a good thing, actually. A few years ago, my friend and I went on a graduation trip to Japan for 2 weeks, and we were really excited because we were always really into Japanese culture and food and everything. And when we got there, at first, it was amazing to eat authentic Japanese food all the time. But after a week, I just really wanted something from home and very simple and not with fish in it. So we ended up going to McDonald's, and that kind of became my everyday thing because I just couldn't stand having fish every morning for breakfast. So yeah, I'm definitely for globalization.
6.
Yeah, I must say, I think in general it's a really good thing. You know, with my life here, it suits me, the kind of globalization thing. But I must say, recently visited Cuba, and it seems that a place like that hasn't really been affected by globalization. You know, there's very little internet, and there's no American multinational companies and fast foods and things like that, and no advertising. It's just great to be there because you don't feel bombarded by all the kind of global brands that we all have to live with all the time. And as I say, although I actually like globalization in general, while I'm there, I'm just delighted that it hasn't affected the place. So it's a shame, really, there are not a few more countries that haven't kept their identity as much as Cuba has.
Okay. So let's talk about one by one. What aspects of globalization does speaker number 1 mention? The first speaker.
She said that
Inspire each other. Inspire each other.
Inspire
and
each other.
Learn from other people.
Okay, very good, Diana. Very, very, very good. Yes, Freddy, you were also going to say something?
Yeah, she said that now the world is more accessible for everyone.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
it is like an advantage because people are able to share ideas, to inspire
Yeah.
others, to be creative, to make a world more tolerant place for
Okay.
everyone.
So it's like, I think it was Harold, the one that mentioned something like this, that the world is a smaller place and things are more accessible now. We can share, as Diana and Frey said, we can share ideas, and this create a sense of tolerance towards other people. Okay, very good. So is the first person for or against globalization?
For.
It is for, right? For, yes. Yes, 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 for. Okay, let's go with speaker number 2. What does he say about?
He was complaining about that because of the globalization, shops are more identical, there is little individuality, and that's why it is missing out the qualities of local areas as
Okay.
they used to be.
Okay, very good. So, yes, anything else?
Because of the big chains.
Okay, very good. He mentions something. It makes things bland. I'm going to write it here on the
I was
chat.
going to ask for that word.
Yes. So yes, he says that towns are now identical because shops are the same, which makes things bland. What do you think this sentence mean? What is to make things bland? It sounds like blando, right? But what do you think it means? No. Well,
not exciting.
No. So
easier? No.
Easier? No. When we say that it's something is bland, it makes that it lacks strong features or characteristics, and therefore it makes things not interesting. So it's like when we say, let's think about the way we would say in Spanish. Como algo muy básico, como algo muy, como que todo es igual, you know, todo es igual, absolutamente todo es
Boring.
igual. Boring, yeah, it makes things boring, not interesting at all. So this person, do you think that this person is against or for?
Against.
Against. Against. Very good. Okay, excellent. What about speaker number 3? Speaker number 3. What did he or she mention during his or her intervention?
Yes, I
Diana.
think that he talks about the I don't remember if it's she or he, but
Well,
it talks about the diversity. Well, she lives in London. There are I think that I heard that there are a lot of different accents.
Yeah, they could never cease.
I think that it's focused on the diversity of the people, and that they are like so tolerant with
Yes.
each other.
Okay, excellent, Diana. Yes. So he said that people are more tolerant because there are people from different countries living together. And then he is from London, and he says, oh, if you go to a cafe, you will hear different accents. And this is something that is common nowadays. This is something that, because of globalization, it's something that is now normal for them. And they don't comment, they don't say anything, because this is something that is normal. And then he says, if you go to another country where this is not very common, then you will hear people talking or making comments about those people. Maybe he mentions that, or he says that. Okay, so after we mentioned this, do you think the guy was for or against globalization?
It was for
For.
globalization. Yeah.
For. Yes. Okay, very good. Speaker number 4. What does she mention about globalization? Do you guys remember?
And about the we can see movies. The same movie,
Yes.
wherever we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She
Excellent.
mentioned a problem.
Okay, yes. What was the problem? Do you remember?
She said that sometimes you want to watch like independent movies that
Yes.
have like a low budget, and sometimes the globalization doesn't pay attention to those
To
kind of
those movies.
that are not
Exactly.
projected in the theaters.
In
Yeah.
the yes, around the world. Yes, Freddy. Excellent. Very good, Diana and Freddy. So speaker number 4 she says that one good thing about globalization is that you can see the same movies everywhere. But she also says that this is something that maybe has a negative impact in terms of as Freddy said, independent movies, they suffer sometimes because they are ignored somehow, and you cannot find them everywhere. So now, based on what we just said, do you think this person is for or against, or has mixed feelings or mixed opinions?
Maybe for.
Maybe for, or maybe mixed opinions, because she
Mixed
said,
opinion, yeah.
mixed opinions, because she mentioned something good, but at the same time she mentioned something that is not that good. So she's not like completely sure about it. So let's say that she is or she has mixed opinions. What about speaker number 5?
Here she said that she went to Japan, I guess.
Uh-huh.
The first week she enjoyed the experience because she could eat a lot of new food, but
Yeah.
later she get tired because
Got
she
tired.
she just want to eat local food or home food.
Yeah, okay. So she said that well, she was living
Tired
in
of
Japan.
fish.
She was living in Japan, right? And the first week she was very happy and excited trying all the Japanese food, but then after a week she got tired and she wanted to eat something that didn't include fish. So she went to a McDonald's. I think that's the brand that she mentioned, McDonald's. So that you can so that you can have a variety of food in different, with different restaurants. So she said that thanks to globalization she can have access to food from different parts of the world, so not only Japanese, right? Because she was talking about or sharing her experience in Japan. So she could eat more than only Japanese food thanks to globalization. So I think we are, or I think we all agree that she is in favor, right? She's for globalization. And what about the last person, speaker number 6?
The difficult one.
Okay, that's a difficult one. Why? Yeah. Oh,
He
because
was
of the
talking about
pronunciation.
Cuba.
He
I
was talking
think
about Cuba.
he said that the globalization didn't change the country at all because they didn't have the access we have to the internet,
Yes.
and they didn't have these global companies or big change in the country, so they have kept their authenticity. The country.
Okay, yeah, he talked about Cuba, and he said that those places which don't have much internet access or multinational companies like Cuba, they can keep their identity. So he said something like, okay, so it's interesting to visit a place where you don't see like a lot of brands or international brands like McDonald's, KFC, or Burger King, or this coffee brand Starbucks, you know, that you find in other countries, because thanks to globalization, we can find those restaurants all over the world, or those brands all over the world. So he said, when you visit Cuba, it's like you don't have that, and the country can keep their its identity. So this is something that can be good, but at the same time, it's also that it's not that good, because Cuba suffers a lot in terms of internet connection. I don't know if you have visited Cuba.
I mean,
Yes,
it's
Cristian?
good when you see like a tourist. There's only
Yes.
be there like 2 weeks at
Yeah.
tops. It's awesome, being disconnected is beautiful.
That's good. That's
everything.
good.
Yeah, like a
Not,
tourist, but
yes,
living
but
there,
not to
that is
live
the problem.
there.
I
Yeah.
like to see the low globalization when you are a tourist.
So it could be something good when you visit those places, as Christian said, just like when you travel there. So it's good to forget about the world. It's good to disconnect from everything, from social media, from the internet, from everything. And just to have the experience of being there, living in that, or visiting that country, but not living there, because if you go to live there, I mean, it's a whole different situation. Okay, people, very, very, very good. So I'm going to give you a small piece of homework. So here we have phrases or words in bold from exercise number 2. We have immigration, migration, cultural and religious diversity, way of life, clash of cultures. So the ones that are in bold, in negrilla, okay? And then we can go and place them or organize them according to their category. So for example, here in travel, we could say migration or immigration, maybe. We have another that is food. So in this category, we can have, for example, here, imported food or local produce food, right? Business and money, which of these category, which of these words can we place them here in the business or money category? Then we have communication or language, online contact, maybe lingua, which one, what is it? This one, lingua franca, from this one here. So which of these words in bold can you place here in the topic? So we have shopping, culture, and society. So tomorrow we can check that and we can organize them in the correct place. Clear, guys? Is the activity clear? That is for homework for tomorrow. Yes, yes, okay.
Yes.
Very, very, very good, guys. So with this, we finish our first cycle of the first cycle, the first class of our cycle. Thank you.
That was
thank you,
pretty fast.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being here tonight, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of the night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye
teacher.
bye.
Good
Take care.
night.
Bye,
Very
teacher.
good
Thank
night,
you.
guys. Take care. Bye
Good
bye.
night.
Good night.